Hey there, I'm Matt, but you may know me as the Tattoo Robot. It's February, so for this traditional tattoo style art tutorial, we're drawing hearts. Why? Because Valentine's Day, of course. But instead of wasting money on flowers that'll be dead in a few days, give your significant other something that lasts forever. Art! And just to stay on theme, I'll be adding flowers to these pieces, but at least these won't wilt. This is the first of 3 videos, all using the same heart as a base. Next up, neo-traditional, after that, new school. And yeah, I know I said birds were going to be the next set of tutorials, but I forgot about Valentine's Day. So, we're shifting gears, and birds will be ready next. Don't worry. Starting with the heart. Simple, bold, symmetrical. Like true love, it's gotta have a solid foundation. American traditional is all about strong, readable shapes, so no unnecessary frills here. Since this is a Valentine's piece, I'm adding 2 flowers to frame the heart, because nothing says romance like something that's gonna die soon. For these, I'm taking a similar approach to the ones that I did for the traditional cocktail tutorial. I start with a circle, then add 2 more circles around it. If you're using a digital program like Procreate, you can just duplicate and resize these. If you're on paper, grab a compass or freehand it. Flowers don't grow perfectly in nature, so they don't have to be exact. Next, I sketch in some lines through the center to find the middle of the flower and then add 2 more smaller circles to define the center details. Now let's refine the petals. These aren't a specific type of flower, so shape them however you like. I like to add extra little curves to the edges to keep things interesting, but not so much that it looks messy. That looks good. Now I'll duplicate it and position it where it balances out the composition. I always design artwork as if it's going to be a tattoo, so I keep things taller than they are wide since arms and legs are the best places to put tattoos that people will actually see. But if you want to make your drawing wider, go for it. Want to add more flowers? Add them. Go ahead. If you're working digitally, save some time by keeping the flowers on a separate layer. Color one, then duplicate it as many times as you want to fill that space. Alright, I'm happy with how this looks, so now I'll move on to the leaves. I'll be using a limited color palette, so you'll see me tweak the shape of these leaves a few times before I finally settle on something that works. American traditional is all about bold, confident lines. No weak, scratchy strokes, just clean, solid outlines to make the design stand out. This step locks everything into place and really brings the piece to life. But since everybody knows how to do outlines already, we're just going to speed through this part. Before I add any shading, I fill each section with the color I think looks best. I'm keeping the palette simple. 2 reds, 1 classic, 1 pink, and 2 grays, about 30 and 60%. I color fill the heart with red, obviously. The flowers were originally going to be red too, but I didn't like having the same tone touching, so I switched them up. I encourage you to experiment and see what works for you. The point of these tutorials isn't to show you one perfect way. It's about having you develop your own style and help you learn to troubleshoot to make your artwork look even better. Now it's time to add some shading to make this artwork really pop. For some areas, like the flowers, I prefer to start shading dark from the center. In this case, I added a touch of red since the flowers were looking a bit flat. For some areas, like the heart and leaves, I begin black at the bottom and work my way up, creating a smooth gradient. I'm careful to keep the dark areas from touching, as this can easily overpower the design. This method ensures the gradient stays smooth, the outlines stay sharp, and the overall piece stays well defined. And there it is, an American traditional heart and flowers built to last longer than any Valentine's bouquet. Strong shapes, bold contrast, and just the right amount of detail. Next time, we'll take the same design and give it the neo-traditional twist. After that, new school, and then birds. I promise, the birds are coming.